Seems like we got a lot more questions and answers. Not a lot of answers tonight on Raw. It's time for my Raw review. I am the one and only Zack Attack here for my Raw review for August 15th, the Summerslam Aftermath. I actually thought Raw very intriguing, very shocking. A lot more questions and answers with a lot of storylines. Do not know who the liars are and the truth sayers are. We're going to delve into it right now. Let's just start with this whole Triple H, Kevin Nash, CM Punk, John Cena storyline. Let's just begin with that for a second. Triple H came out on Raw, began Raw, saying that he apologized to Cena for not seeing the phone in the rope. He apologized to him backstage and didn't see it on camera. He said, he claimed in the storyline it has nothing to do with Nash interfering. He said Nash was invited to SummerSlam by him, and he didn't know what he was going to do. And then Nash came out later on and said Triple H sent him a text that said no matter what happens in the main event, beat up the winner. A lot of confusing situations. I say Triple H is a damn liar. I think it was behind it. I seriously, in this storyline, I believe Triple H is behind Kevin Nash's actions, and he is going to be punished for them. Like Stephanie McMahon said to Punk later on, she said, people get what they deserve. And Nash will get what he deserves. And Punk did another slamming promo on him, man. I don't know why Nash is involved. I don't even know why Nash is back. You know what I mean? Nash can't wrestle much anymore. He's had so many neck and knee surgeries. He's paid more money on his surgeries than Obama's paid on the war. You know? Let's say Nash paid more money for his surgeries than we pay taxes for wars. That's all I gotta say about Nash and his surgeries. You know what I mean? So Nash is involved somewhat, and we'll see how this Nash-Punk feud develops. Punk wants to beat him up. I hope that God see a Punk beat the crap out of Nash. I want to see that happen. I want to see his knee shattered, see Punk get the fuck out of him. Anyway, like I said, more questions than answers. We don't know if Triple H is really saying the truth. We don't know if Nash's story is true. We don't know who's telling the truth here besides Punk. Punk's telling mostly the truth. And so the commentators. I'll talk about them in a second. And Cena gets involved later. I'll get to him. So let's get started with the matches. John Morrison versus R-Truth kicked off one night. Very intriguing tag team match. Not tag team match. It was last night. The no-holds-barred match. Actually, false count anywhere match. Morrison did well. And I said this last week. Morrison needs a good win over R-Truth. R-Truth beat him in a singles match, an attack match. And Morrison needs to come back here. Gets a win over R-Truth. And gets back rolling. Like they said, R-Truth is on a roll. Morrison ain't on a roll. He's been back and he hasn't got a win yet. So him getting a win over R-Truth hopefully kind of ends this feud with R-Truth for now and then leads towards Promised Land, hopefully a title shot. So hopefully he can build up again. But I'm glad hopefully this feud with R-Truth is over. Good decent matchup, good opener for Raw. And Miz came out after that blabbing about everything, about him not being champion, him being awesome, everything. And a Divas match was after that. Divas tag Kelly versus with Eve versus the Bella Twins. Typical Divas tag match. Okay, like I said, it's Divas match. What do you expect? Kelly and Eve win. Beth and Natalya came out. Like I said, I bet you Beth's going to get a rematch. Don't you worry. Beth will get a rematch over Kelly. Like I said, I like Kelly. But you know, Divas division and tag team division have a lot in common. They're both crap. And the wrestlers in both divisions ain't doing much for both divisions. That leads to a tag team match later on tonight. Kofi Kingston and Evan Bourne taking on the tag team champions McGillicuddy and Otaga. And actually this three-man commentary team between JR, King, and Cole, I think they're finally getting their chemistry together. I think after about 2 or 3 weeks, they're getting their chemistry together. I think they work well. JR and King working together again in any shape. Bring freshness back. And I like their shoot style. Especially Jerry Lawler's like Well, Tonga and McGillicuddy has been champs for months, and they haven't excited me yet. It's like the bland lead the bland. Amen, sir. That's the deal. The tag team division WWE is all bland. There's like not a lot of good, legit tag teams left. You know, after the Hart Dynasty broke up, the tag team division really went down the crap, especially with Santino and Kozlov, like comedy teams. You know, we need serious tag teams again. And Kofi and Evan Bourne wins, and I hope that does entitle them for a tag team title shot because they have a good chemistry. They're high flyers, they're great wrestlers, and they make it a build. Hopefully they build them right to be a legitimate tag team. Hope they get some more good tag teams in there and make the tag team division leagueable again. And I agree with King on Tonga and McGillicuddy need to excite us. Need to do something exciting. They've done nothing exciting, especially since they broke up with the Nexus. Speaking of that, I think Nexus is done. They haven't like really addressed the Nexus on the shows recently, but I can tell now Nexus is like done. I think it's been done since Punk left. That's what happened. Like after Punk left, Nexus got dissed as well. Another match was AY taking out Jack Swagger. Now you can see the tensions between Dolph and Jake and Vicky Guerrero grow after what happened last week with AY getting slapped by Vicky, causing his qualification victory for him. I can see the situation. I think Vicky will leave Dolph and manage Jack because you saw what happened with Vicky. She left the commentating booth. She was commentating the match with Dolph. She left, put on JR's hat. Girls in hats, I can't help it, but Vicky in a hat? Okay. She distracted the referee. AY had Swagger abandoned. And is it just me or did Jack Swagger kind of botch the powerbomb, the suplex, the gut wrench powerbomb tonight? He had to do it like 3 times. He had to do it a couple of times to finally get it right. It was kind of a botch in my mind. So, but Swagger wins nonetheless. Then we head towards the main event for the WWE versus Rey Mysterio for the WWE Undisputed Championship. And John Cena came out after the match. He kind of addressed what he addressed what people would say about Alberto, like the critics. There's a lot of critics out there, and John Cena, in my mind, was like the voice of the critics. Alberto's not a champion. He just got lucky. He cashed it in on a man who was weak. That's what I have said this a few weeks ago. All Money in the Bank guys, ever since Edge did it, everyone does the same thing. Pick up spot. They never do it in a weird match. They only do it when a guy is down. And when they try to cash when the man's up, they won. They're like, I don't want to face a man full power. I want to get him when he's weak. You mean the way they cash in Money in the Bank now is kind of weird to me. It's kind of like unfair in my mind. Like a lot of people does it. But Alberto did put on a pretty good performance tonight. He won without any cheating. No distractions from Ricardo. Mysterio did very well in his hometown. He did a good performance too. The match was decent. Very exciting. Somewhat, yes. But did well and got the victory over Mysterio following blocking the frog splash. His kick of Mysterio was brutal, so there was a good action there. The Alberto, he has a lot more to do to impress his critics and silence the critics. But for now, he didn't silence them completely, but at least he made the critics say, hey, at least we got to give Alberto a chance to be a legit champion. He wants to be a legit champion. He said it in his promo in the beginning, but we don't believe it. He's a Mexican aristocrat. He's the cheating guy. And he tried to break Ray's arm. And here comes John Cena saying, Alberto, I want to beat your ass, man. Cena was intense tonight. And like I said, Cena's character's gone pretty bland. Speaking of bland, lean the bland. Of course, everyone's been complaining about Cena's bland character as of late. So I was happy to see Cena somewhat intense tonight. But we'll see what goes down with who gets a rematch first, Cena or Punk. Or we'll both get a rematch against Alberto, but we don't know. And like I said, more questions and answers. Who's telling the truth? Is Triple H telling the truth? Is Nash telling the truth? Was Triple H really behind it? Who will get the next shot against Alberto? Will it be Cena? Will Cena get the rematch first? Or will Punk get it? Or will they both get it? Like I said, very intriguing. Very shocking scenarios, but we'll see how all these storylines fare out. I hope they end well, you know. And I hope they push Punk up very well. And at least he's still big. He's still at that high level. I hope they don't bring him down, especially with Nash involved. And you know how controlling Nash is. You want to know how big of a control freak Kevin Nash is? Just pop in the Rise and Fall of WCW or we the death of WCW, you see a lot of people saying Nash is a control freak. And he's ego. We'll see if Nash's ego and Triple H's ego combined ruin the company. And see if Shawn's involved. Because Shawn canceled a European tour again. So that became more suspicious because that could mean Shawn could be involved in the storyline too. And X-Pac, who knows? Maybe it'll be a Click reunion. You saw in the Hall of Fame, they'll all hugging. That could be a hint of what's to come. And maybe a newly sober Scott Hall could get involved, but who knows? If WWE will let that sober, that drunk son of a bitch back in. With that in mind, questions and answers hopefully be solved in the next couple of weeks, especially leading up to Night of the Champions. With that in mind, he's been attacked by me. I will see you tomorrow for another attack line. Probably late tomorrow because I'll be out all day doing stuff. With that in mind, see you later. Have a good night.